Welcome to Ascend and Awaken, a life of balance. In today's video, we explore the bold and illuminating teachings of Osho, a mystic, spiritual teacher and philosopher who left a profound impact on millions worldwide. Born as Rajneesh Chandra Mohan Jain in India in 1931, Osho challenged traditional religious structures and invited people to discover truth through their own inner experience. He believed in meditation, mindfulness, love, laughter, and personal freedom. Unlike many spiritual teachers, Osho blended Eastern philosophy with Western psychology, often shocking the world with his unconventional approach. His teachings weren't meant to be followed blindly. They were meant to awaken. He encouraged seekers to question everything, to live fully, and to embrace life with fearless authenticity. His message resonates even more deeply today in a world filled with masks, anxiety, and disconnection. So what does it mean to live authentically and without fear, according to Osho? Let's dive into his transformative wisdom and see how it can guide us toward a freer, truer life. 1. The courage to be yourself. Osho believed that the first act of rebellion is to be yourself. He said, "Don't live according to others, and don't allow others to live according to you." We are conditioned from childhood to behave in ways that are acceptable to society, to our families, friends, and institutions. But in doing so, we often lose touch with who we really are. Osho teaches that authenticity begins when we drop the masks and connect with our inner truth, no matter how unconventional or misunderstood it might be. This takes tremendous courage, but the reward is the liberation of the soul. You become a creator of your life, not a passive player. 2. Dropping the fear of judgment. One of Osho's core messages is to stop living through the eyes of others. Fear of judgment is like a cage, subtle but strong. He taught that true freedom only comes when you're no longer driven by what others expect of you. This doesn't mean becoming antisocial or indifferent. It means becoming deeply rooted in your own being. When you are centered, people's opinions no longer have the power to shape your reality. You live from your own authority, your own light. Osho often said, "Only sheep need shepherds. Be a lion." 3. Meditation as the foundation. For Osho, meditation was not a ritual. It was a way of being. It was the foundation for all transformation. He introduced unique dynamic meditation techniques that involved breathing, movement, catharsis, silence, and celebration. He believed traditional sitting meditation didn't always work for the modern mind, which is restless and overstimulated. Osho's approach was to first release pent-up emotions and energies, then enter the space of stillness. When you meditate regularly, you begin to peel back the layers of identity that were placed on you by others. You meet your true self, not the self you perform, but the self you are. 4. The power of the present moment. Osho emphasized that life only exists in the present moment. He warned that our obsession with the past and the future creates anxiety, regret, and fear. When you fully embrace the now, fear dissolves. Because fear is always about something that has not yet happened. It's a ghost of the future. Osho encouraged people to become lovers of life by diving deeply into the moment through dance, music, breath, and meditation. He said, "Each moment has to be golden. Only then will your life be golden." 5. Living without masks. Authenticity, according to Osho, is the highest form of intelligence. But most of us are wearing masks, not physical ones, but emotional and spiritual ones. We become who we think we should be, rather than who we are. We suppress desires, avoid truths, and present curated versions of ourselves to the world. Osho taught that real transformation happens when you drop the act. You don't need to pretend to be wise, perfect, or spiritual. Just be real. And in that realness, something divine begins to emerge. The soul begins to breathe again. 6. Love, not fear, is the essence of life. Osho said that where there is fear, love cannot exist. Most relationships are based not on love, but on dependency and control, which are rooted in fear. He taught that true love is fearless. It allows freedom. It accepts the other person as they are. He believed that the journey to authentic living must include the capacity to love without attachment, without demand, and without fear of loss. Love, in its purest form, is a flowering of your own being, and it only blooms when fear has been released. 7. The gift of solitude and aloneness. Unlike loneliness, which is a longing for the other, Osho celebrated the richness of aloneness. He believed that time alone is essential for discovering one's truth. In silence and solitude, you reconnect with your center. You begin to see that you are not your roles, achievements, or relationships. You are consciousness itself. Osho would often say, "Be alone, be silent, and you will know who you are." This self-knowing is the essence of authenticity. 8. You are the master of your life. Ultimately, Osho's teachings are about awakening the inner master. He wasn't interested in followers. He wanted people to wake up, to stop living second-hand lives, to stop waiting for permission. He urged people to be courageous enough to take full responsibility for their existence. Freedom is not easy, but it is the only soil where joy and truth can grow. You are not broken. You do not need fixing. You simply need to return to your own inner authority, the one that has always been there, waiting. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe to Ascend and Awaken for more soul-centered content inspired by ancient wisdom and timeless truth. Peace, love, and light to you on your continual spiritual journey.